Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to take a beautiful VR flight from Milford Sound to Quinton Lodge in New Zealand. Oh hello mate, he's just spawned on me. I've got live traffic on, live players. And we are going to fly the newly released Bonanza by Black Square. Now you may have seen my preview video in which I do state that this is basically a study level general aviation aircraft for the price of £25. Pretty damn amazing, and if you haven't seen that video, please do check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now we're in the DOF Reality H2, as we always will be from this point onwards. I friggin' love it. And we're in the REVERB G2 as well. But you may be surprised to hear that, in fact, what the hell is going on here? This is why you don't do YouTube videos with live players on. But what I was going to try and say is we are using the AMD system that Stormforce has very kindly loaned me for a while. It is absolutely working really well now. I've dialed it in, I've got my best settings, and I'm currently getting 50 frames per second in TAA mode. Very cool. Anyway, more of that as we go through this flight. So this is the Black Square Bonanza. That means we've got to do things pretty damn realistically. Otherwise, well, you may run into some problems. It's so busy here at Milford Sound. What an amazing place. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, anyway, let's get cracking then. So, pre-flight inspection has been complete. Seats and seatbelts are secure. Cabin doors are latched. Parking brake is set. Emergency gear handle, that's down here. That is stowed. Flaps are up. Yes, they are. Oxygen pressure is at 1550 to 1850. That's down there. In fact, if you can't see things, guys, just press that button here. Can you see here, folks? You won't be able to see it on the screen. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, that is in the correct position. Very good. Avionics are in fact off at the moment. Throttle is closed. Prop and mixture can go fully forward now. Let's have a look here. We've got cowl flaps. They are open, which are down there, along with the aileron trim, which has been centered. Alternate air is in the off position. Yes, it is. Firewall valve is now open. Landing gear is down. All sub-panel switches are off. Load meter is set to primary. That's this guy over here. That is set to primary. Main circuit breakers are all in, and they do work, guys, as does everything on this bird. Pretty much anything that is modelled in the real aircraft is modelled with this bird. Pretty safe to say that. Alternate static air is normal. Carbon monoxide detection, which is also modelled. Let's just check that. That is green and looking good. Beacon light can now come on. Okay, that's now on. Battery master is now on. There we go. Bus volts must be at 23 volts minimum. I can just see that down there. I'm looking down here, guys. I will zoom in for you. Do you know, the reverb does look very good, doesn't it? I know I say this all the time, like I sound surprised, but I do have a lot of VR headsets, and often when I go back to the reverb, it kind of surprises me. Annunciators, test and consider. I need to move this out of the way. I think it's down here. There we go. Look at this. It's so gorgeous, this aircraft. Standby alternator. That is this. Where is it? Here. On. And then we need to check the main fuel quantities. I did that earlier. That's fine. Tip tanks. Quantity is good. Auxiliary fuel pump onto low. We need to listen to the audible sound. Very nice. Yeah, sounds good. We'll switch that off. Do you know, I'm pretty certain, guys, that any Bonanza you've ever had for a flight sim in the past hasn't been anywhere near this high fidelity. Auxiliary fuel pump now off. Standby gyro pump can now go on. You'll even hear that as well as we switch that on. We need to now check that it's illuminated on the panel, which it is. And instrument air is now green, which is this dial here. Looking good. We now can take the standby gyro pump off. Good stuff. Now, the engine is cold at the moment, so we need to make sure, that should have been on, that we use the correct checklist item here. So, mixture fully forward, prop fully forward, and throttle cracked. Now, I just want to say, guys, I'm not trying to be an expert at this. I am not. I'm learning this aircraft. In fact, this is why it's my new addiction, because there's something about flying a bird of this level that really feels rewarding. And flying, it just feels so different when you know there's consequences to your actions. So I just want to put out there that I may do things wrong, but that's all part of the fun and the learning process. There is a very well comprehensive manual, and like I said on my preview video, go print it off at work when the boss isn't looking, and that way you've got everything, and it's actually a very good read, especially, you know, it gives you that sense and, you know, appreciation for the work that's gone into this. As you can see, I have been flying this aircraft, and at the moment my engine condition is at 97%, so I'm doing alright, but I could do better. So, propeller high, RPM, throttle open, auxiliary fuel pump set to high for 3 seconds. Making sure fuel flow is good, which it is. Right, I think we're ready, guys, for an engine start here. Making sure the fuel selector is on the desired tank, which it is. It's time for an engine start. Here we go. Oh, beautiful. She fired into life there. And I do love how you can really hear that turbo whine sound. There's a lot of custom sounds added to this. And something I didn't mention in my preview is that the flight model has also been, you know, tweaked and reworked, which is great to see. Right, so we've got our avionics on now. And so, yeah, we'll go through the checklist here. The throttle is at 1,1200 RPM, that's correct. Oil pressure is in the green. Annunciators are extinguished. Alternator load between 25 amp in 2 minutes. That is this down here, guys. In fact, I've forgotten where that is myself. Oh, it's here. Alternator load. So we'll keep an eye on that, that's good. Bus volts are also at 28 volts, that's all good. Engine instruments are all check working and look absolutely gorgeous with this analog gauges all over the place. Love it. Lights as required. Weather radar set to standby. Yeah, in fact at the moment we're just using the... This is all the features, by the way, of the add-on. Just get rid of that annoying tooltip. You can see here we can set random failures, but also schedule failures, the rate of them, detailed settings, which is this button here. Look at this, you can go into it, just change everything. It's amazing. It really is incredible what this add-on can do. Avionics are already on. Cabin air and heat as desired. Well, at the moment we're at 14 degrees, that's okay. Air conditioning, we'll bung that on now. And mixture lean for taxi, very important, because you can foul the plugs. You can get vapor lock, even engine backfire noises as well. Everything, as I say, is modelled on this thing. Right, guys, I think we're ready to taxi to the runway and do our run-up checklist. Okay folks, so we've just, we'll hold short here for a moment and we'll do a run-up check. I really love how I can feel the throb of that engine coming through the H2 motion platform. It's such a great feature. I'm not even using my seat pad, my haptic seat pad. I'm definitely going to try it though soon. Right, about 1800 RPM. We're now going to check the mags. 150 drop, back to both. Left mag. Again, that's running absolutely fine. We'll cycle the prop as well. Everything is feeling pretty good. What we'll do then, we'll just put some panel lights on. We'll now put our landing light on, strobe light, pitot heat. Shut the window. Flaps to take off. Okay, so I think we're ready to take off, guys. Just to say that you can change the avionics to suit your needs. You can have a GTN 750 or no radios at all. But we're going to go for the GNS 530 in this case, which now is going to reset itself. Whoops, but that's okay. Make sure we are squawking 7,000. I'm not quite sure if that is correct for New Zealand. Probably isn't, but that will do for now. T's and P's are all looking where they should. I think we're ready, guys. Let's do this. Listen to that turbo whine. And you won't be able to see the seat moving probably that much, but I can feel now that we are accelerating. It's quite an amazing feeling. I'm not sure I'll ever get used to that. Oh yes. Taking off in a motion rig is just the most glorious feeling. It's just like being in a real aircraft. Alright, landing gear can go up now. Right, we're just going to add in our waypoints. In fact, we're just going straight to the airfield in this case. You can really feel the bumps. Incredible. There we are. Can you see that, guys? Beautiful. So as we're enjoying this view here, folks, and we'll be landing very shortly, just to mention a few other features of the Black Square Bonanza, including that of the randomized and customized failures, which there's about 80 of them. The CDI needles are affected by radio transmission interference, and look at those gauges, they are so smooth and crisp. It's also worth noting that the turbo physics of the engine simulation in this aircraft is the best in the business. And I don't know of any other payware add-on that comes close to this. So if you're wondering whether you're getting your money's worth with this add-on, I think you absolutely definitely are. £25 for this. Don't be fooled just because it looks similar. In fact, it's the same in terms of external modelling. It's what's under the hood that counts. Anyway, let's just concentrate here, because mountain flying can be very challenging indeed, especially with the real strong ridge lift that's simulated in this sim these days. So we'll just go over here, because I'm trying to get back on flight plan a little bit here. If this is a flight plan, it's not really much of one, to be honest. We're just basically winging it. But I believe our airfield is in that little cove there. So this is going to be a really spectacular approach here. I'm just going to do the checklist. Seats and seat belts are secure. Fuel selector. We need to change that actually. So fuel pump on to low. We'll change that to the right fuel tank. Fuel pressure is good. Auxiliary fuel pump off. Landing gear is coming down. Oxygen is off. Landing light is on. pitot heat is on for this. Propeller heat is off. Air conditioning. We can switch that off for landing. This is going to be spectacular. Cowl flaps, there are open. Mixture fully rich. And flaps set to approach. Well, in fact, we're going to set them to fully down now that we're in our flat range. And all these things can fail. So it's definitely worth paying attention the best you can. So this particular airfield we're landing at was in fact included in my live community flight the other weekend. And we're going to try and get this Bonanza into this little strip here. And bear in mind things like gear failure, flap failure, it's all there and modelled. So you're probably wondering, where the hell am I going? But look at that. Can you see that, guys, coming into view? We're going to attempt to land there. So, no more talking. Let's concentrate now. skim the treetops here. Oh, wow. Need a little bit more power. Get her in. I'm floating a bit too much here. But that wasn't too bad. I think we've made it. Welcome to Quinton Lodge in the Black Square. Wow, can you see how we're bumping around here? In the Black Square Bonanza. It's absolutely, in my opinion, one of the best general aviation aircraft we have seen to date, right up there with the Milviz 310. I hope you enjoyed that video today. Please feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next one. Take care, and bye for now. Can you hear that, guys? All these new sounds that are now available, like the flap. And even as the engine is cooling as well, listen to that. That's the level of detail that I'm talking about right here. Very, very nice indeed.